Okay, quick version. Robotnik is back.
I discovered the source of ultimate power.
We need to get it back or the world is doomed.
You brought some kind of space porcupine.
I am an echidna warrior.
Because obviously on this film, you knew that you had something that people liked from the first movie. Did that change how you approached it? Did it feel different, or were you just more confident that you were doing what people wanted?
Well, you know, I've been pretty confident for a few years about kind of what I do that's special. And, you know, so Robotnik was no different than The Mask or one of those ones. It was an opportunity for me to go back and do that over the top, absurd energy and still make him believable within the story. And, you know, the first movie was received so well. It was just, there was that diabolical evil thing that was fun and kind of animated, but there was also a sweetness to the character of Sonic and his, you know, his innocence and his like preteen, you know, enjoyment of the world and the zeitgeist. So that's why I did it. I felt like it would touch on a lot of different levels. And the second time, I just got to ratchet it up. You know, I got to go, okay, so he's been on the mushroom planet. Obviously, he didn't find the right mushrooms, because if he had, he would have stayed there. But no, he's coming back full of vengeance and wanting to just settle the score. And now he's got a power that makes him a demigod, which is really what we're all after. I know that's what you really want, Ian.
Obviously, that's why I do this job. This is where I'm going to get
right.
to, you know. And we saw in the credit scene, obviously, that you had the mustache and you'd had that iconic look. But this is like a full film of that like iconic look that everyone knows, if they haven't played Sonic. Did that change your performance, or did that just, as you say, free you up to just go even more diabolical and over the top and brilliant?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty free. There weren't a lot of people sitting on me. Maybe they should. I don't know. But no, I mean, it was absolutely a license to kill, you know? I mean, Robotnik there's no end to where you could go with his madness, you know? I mean, especially we're in an era where we're dealing with the madness of Silicon Valley's, you know, doing whatever they're doing to us, you know? I mean, you know, sometimes it's for good, sometimes it's not. And, you know, they've added an appendage to the human body, you know, that we never had before, and now we can't live without. So how far could Robotnik go? You know, if he gets a couple of those guys in a room and gives them the right combination of hallucinogenics.
Yeah. Is that your tease for the third film? Because we know there's one coming. Is there something in particular you want to take on next time, how Robotnik wants to develop?
I think he should, you know, I'd like to see him get into nanotechnology. I'd like his machines to be, you know, be released in an aerosol, you know, that can be ingested in the human body and turn people into him.
Well, you'll have to start pitching the writers, because I'm sure they're working on it now.
Right. That's right. I'd also like to see, you know, a retinal display. I'd like to see what's on Robotnik's retinal display.
I wonder, Ben, coming into this, after the first film had been a success, did it feel different? Were you more confident, or did that add more pressure? Could you do what people wanted to see?
For me, it felt, you know, what's so funny? It's both, because at the beginning, it's just like and it's people being introduced to my version of Sonic. So there's a bit of stress being like, I really hope the way that I'm playing this goes over well with the fans and goes over well, you know, to everybody, so we can keep making these. Now it's, oh boy, the first one did well. Can we do it again? Can we do it again? Yeah. But there was less pressure because the surprise is over. The surprise of what Sonic looks like, the surprise of what, if I'm talking about just my role, the surprise of what he sounds like had been accepted and very kindly praised by people, which is so lovely. So now it was, okay, now I'm going to do the same process I did there. I'm going to watch this movie. I'm going to punch it up anywhere I can, off of an incredible script by Pat and Josh. And then, so there was less pressure, but just, I really wanted it to succeed. And I didn't want us to get cocky because we did one great one, just throwing the second one in, and we did not. This movie is huge, and I think wonderful. And James is going to say something when you ask him a question, but I need you to know he's been doing this English accent for the past hour and he hasn't been able to shake it. So he may answer in a weird English accent, and I apologize.
I'm more, bring it on, James. I'm always intrigued with these kind of films. How did it work on set? Like, what random thing did they use to put Sonic there and make sure your eye lines? Because I saw a set photo, there was like life-size models.
It's a great question.
I'm so sorry.
We're talking about
roll
it
right now.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's Scottish, not English, but let's go for it.
This is a spot on English
sorry,
accent. That's a spot on English accent.
I get them mixed up. It was, it's a different skill set completely for sure. You're there. Obviously, Ben's not there opposite me on the day, but it's a tennis ball. It's a piece of tape. Sometimes it's a bean bag if they need to sell the weight if you're holding him. But I love the process. Like you're there. You have somebody reading Ben's lines opposite so that you can get the rhythm of the scene going. But yeah, you just like this whole process for me now is like. I have the utmost faith in Jeff, the director, and Ben as a talent, and everyone that's involved just feels like just such high quality human beings first, but then just the talents are crazy. So you do feel like you have a great safety net going in, because you can feel a bit naked going to these scenes. Like, is this working? I have no idea. Does it look like I'm looking at him? But I like that challenge, the sort of technical challenge of doing that as well. I've done it in a couple other films before. But it's really starting to work now. I don't know. But the joy for me is like seeing all of that put together, like live action and animation is tricky and kind of blending those two together. And I saw the film for the first time a couple of days ago, and it's just like, man, how do you do this? Like it really does feel like a fully realized animated film, but it also feels like a fully realized live action film as well. And they blend seamlessly. And so all the credit in the world to Jeff Fowler, the director, and Neil and the creatives, everybody on board. It's a great family, and it's like if you can get to be a part of something that just feels special, that everybody can enjoy, and that you also have the formula that works. That's so rare in this business, and I'm excited that people are excited about it. I think they're going to be thrilled with it.
Yeah, and like the first film, there are great nods to like the whole history of Sonic. The water levels were the bane of my life.
You see, there's this one. He goes like this. There's an actual shot of. I won't ruin stuff. Yeah. And there's like a Parks and Rec reference. We reference things.
John Ralphio, yeah. Cool.
There is a John Ralphio reference, and so there's all these things throughout. And just because I know you're about to ask me an incredible question, I do not want to get in the way of that. For James's credit. What he does is he's an incredible actor, and to do the things he does, like there's a scene where he's on a rowboat with Sonic having a truly heartwarming scene, and he's doing it to a piece of tape. Or, there's all his lost moments when it looks like the world is going to end in both of these films. And he performs it just takes a very special actor to be able to pull off those performances to nobody, because half of acting is just reacting to what's happening to you. And he's able to do it. So he won't talk about himself. I mean, he does when the camera's off, it's all he does. But when we're on camera, he won't talk about himself. But he's truly a very special and remarkable actor.
First, I wanted to take you back to the credit scene in the first film, where obviously you first played Tails in this movie universe. At that time, did you know that if there were a sequel, you would be coming back? Did you speak to Jeff Fowler about that at all?
No, I had no idea. And I think probably part of me assumed that I wouldn't, because typically voice actors get replaced by celebrities. So I was so excited to do the credit scene. That was so much fun, but had no illusions that I would get to do the second movie. I'm so thrilled that I am.
Yeah, definitely. Especially considering obviously you're the only character from previous Sonic ones that have come in.
I know.
So when it came to that offer, I'm guessing there was no hesitation on your part. You were like, yeah, I'm going to do this.
Of course. Absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
Does it feel different voicing Tails in this kind of live action movie? You've voiced Tails before, or is it just the same difference, just a different medium?
It's the same in that I approach the character in the same way. What's different is the circumstances, and it's cinematic, so it's bigger. But the performance is perhaps more grounded and more cinematic, more serious. And you have a director like Jeff Fowler who guides you through and helps you hit all those moments the way that is fitting for the movie, as opposed to a game or the TV show.
Was that the biggest change for you, having Jeff Fowler there, like giving the guidance and getting those bigger moments for the big screen, or was there something else that surprised you about voicing?
I think it's just more about the circumstances, because I had wonderful directors for those other projects as well. But yeah, it's more about what's happening in this movie and where we meet Tails and his relationship with Sonic, and where where it's coming from. In previous things, you know, they already had an established relationship, where this is new.
For me, obviously, these films are always packed with Easter eggs and references to the games.
Yeah.
Love the water level reference because they were the bane of my life. Do you have a particular favorite Easter egg or nod to the games that brings back that nostalgia for you?
There were so many, and I don't want to spoil them for anybody, but they're going to lose their minds. There's so many amazing. I was like, oh, you know, when I saw it, it's just hold on to your pants. I mean, seriously, they're awesome. They're going to be so excited.
Yeah. And with this kind of work, obviously, you don't always get a chance to work with the other voice actors, but did you get to work with Ben Schwartz or Idris Elba at all for the different things?
I did get to work with Ben a couple of times via Zoom or Skype or whatever thing we were on. I did not get to work with Idris, unfortunately. But yeah, it was great to be able to work with Ben and have that give and take and do a little bit of improv and be able to work off of each other. It was, you know, we weren't in the same room, but close enough.
And as we know already, this isn't the end. Like Sonic 3 has been confirmed and a potentially wider Sonic universe. What is there anything in particular you're hoping to get Tails to do in the third movie? What are your hopes for the continuation?
I hope he's in it. I don't know anything about it. I know it's in development, but yeah, I mean, I hope we get to see more and more of him and see where his gadgets can take everybody.